shorts.
I'm dressed.
Instead,
I'm
you
fully
alluded.
dressed. From here up, I look very professional. I was going to wear a suit jacket, but
No, remember we did that when we
too
first
much.
started? We did
I
the
know.
first few.
We had to
were
come
all,
out with
like,
a bang.
dressed up, and then it's like
boom, right down the tubes.
Seriously, yeah.
So I was
like
doing some marketing videos
Okay.
with our marketing professional who is a guest on a show our show today that
Okay.
I'm really excited about because she lives in northern Michigan, which for those of us down here don't even have a
Northern
clue.
Marion County? Is that what you
No. Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
Northern Michigan, where it snows like 27 feet high and all that stuff. So we're excited to have our guest, Summer Poquette. Welcome to the show. How was the trip down here? Was it good?
Yeah, it's not that bad of a flight.
Do you really live in
Flight.
Michigan?
Yes, I live in Petoskey, Michigan.
She even has the Michigan accent.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so
a little
about
bit.
30 minutes from the Mackinac Bridge.
Okay, so if anybody out there knows what that is,
No,
comment
nobody
below
knows.
because I don't know where that is. But Summer does a great job with Darr Insurance. She is in charge of our marketing, all things social media. What else do you do for us? You tell us, because
For DSI?
for Darr Insurance.
Oh, for DSI, I work with your marketing team and everyone at DSI, and we work on all things social, email marketing, local SEO. So we do a lot with Google My Business for all the different agencies that you have, and we do a lot.
You do a lot.
You name it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do a lot.
Wow,
and
I've never even. I didn't know this person was on your
Exists?
team. Why am I so low in the chair? My chair is
step
like,
up. There you go.
Oh.
Now you're tall.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Summer works with us remotely. She works from obviously from Michigan and handles all of our Facebook marketing,
Awesome.
Twitter, and for the last year and a half, we have seen a dramatic increase in our, I don't know, what do you call that? The activity, the content, the
So organic growth.
organic growth.
Your reach.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's done a wonderful job.
That's awesome.
So I thought it would be great to have her. She was down here. We're filming some marketing videos. So I said, hey, would you be a guest on the podcast?
That's
And
great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she wasn't smart enough to realize that to say no.
I think it's that I asked her before she came, when we were meeting out front. I was like, "Have you seen the show?" And she's like, "Yes." And I was like, "And you still?"
And you still said
Yeah.
yes.
said yes.
Yes.
I think she feels obligated
Yes.
to say yes.
She would like to bring value to our watchers out there. So
Your other shows don't.
most of our other shows
We
can
have-
be, who knows. what-
Occasionally.
Occasionally we bring value. But talk to the folks about social media, what you're seeing in social media, what are some of the common mistakes you see small businesses that are, trying to manage their own social media
Yeah.
and do all that.
Well, we were talking about this before the show, and everyone jumps on thinking they need to be on every single platform. So they need to be on TikTok, they need to have Snapchat, they need Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they need to do the latest, the greatest. And usually they don't do any of it well. So, and it's overwhelming to
It
have
is.
all those profiles, create all that content for all those profiles. That is very time consuming. And, then you have to know about hashtags and links, and that you can't post links in your Instagram posts. And how do you do that? And, you're running a business, you're
Right.
not marketing.
So you would say to somebody that is trying to manage all of that social media, pick one or two that you feel like you can get good at
Yes, absolutely.
instead of the blanket across the board, just be average it.
Absolutely.
A lot
Well,
of them.
I mean, with any business, you need to know who your target market is. So if you know who your target market is, and that can help you determine what platforms you should be using.
Interesting.
So if your target market would be, the teens, early 20s, you're going to use Snapchat and TikTok. But if your target market is the 40 and up, you're probably going to use Facebook or Instagram. If you're a retail store or a restaurant, you're a recipe creator, you're going to choose Pinterest. So, and though Pinterest is not a social media platform, it's actually a search engine. There are some social features to it, and you can share back and forth, but that's where we have, a lot of the lifestyle content creators. You have home improvement, you have recipes, and it's a great platform for people that want to reach women with a higher income too. So that's knowing
awesome.
knowing your target market and then knowing which platforms,
Yeah.
you know, and what their market is.
I've heard that about Pinterest. I'm on Pinterest, but it's actually my wife and daughters who have the account. I don't know how that ever happened, but anyway. But I've heard that, you know, so like if you're selling Medicare supplements, you probably don't need to worry about Snapchat and TikTok.
Probably not. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because they're just...
And plus, I think that, don't we do that in our own businesses, right? Like whatever our niche is, whatever our lane is, stay in your lane a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So like instead of offering perhaps, you know, tons and tons of different services, you stick to one or two or three that you're really, really good at. That's what you show scale in. That's what you show proficiency in.
Yep.
That's the same advice you're giving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't mean you can't have every profile, but on every platform, but you don't want to have that when you're first starting, right? If you're running your own social media and marketing, you have a lot going on. You're running your business, you're trying to grow your business, then you're trying to market it, and you can't be an expert at all things. So unless you're going to hire an agency like Keep It Real Social or have an internal marketing person, you really should start small and grow and build from there.
So talk a little bit about the Google My Business thing, because I know when we first signed up with you, you spent a lot of time focusing on the Google My Business because we have multiple locations throughout the state, and you know that's a really important thing. So talk a little bit about that.
Google My Business is one, it's free. First off, and everybody...
He loves free.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, so it's free. You get a free Google business listing. And, you know, right now, if somebody searches for a haircut, right? They're in Gainesville, they want a haircut. They don't want a hair salon in California to pop up. They want a hair salon in Gainesville to pop up. So that's where Google My Business comes into play. If we pick up our phone right now, we're looking for a restaurant, local restaurants appear. Well, local restaurants appear because they're using Google My Business. So it's a free listing for your business. It costs nothing to claim. You optimize it. You get 750 words to describe your business. That's huge. So anybody looking for seafood or looking for your specialty, a haircut, if you have those keywords in your description for Google My Business, you're going to more likely pop up when someone searches locally. So you can have more than one location. So that's what we did for you, John. You have Leesburg, you have Fleming Island. So all of the different agencies have different Google My Business profiles. They're optimized. So if someone's in Fleming Island looking for insurance, the Fleming Island insurance is going to pop up.
And it's really two different brands. So we do business in Fleming Island under Fleming Island Insurance, which is a different brand than Darr Insurance, because people know me all over the world, but they don't know me in Fleming Island Insurance. So, you know,
all
that's
over the world?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hello. I am a rock
You're
star in
internationally
my
known?
own mind.
You know to rock the microphone?
I'm here to rock the microphone. Charlie's in a band, by the way. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So anyway,
Never gets old.
so that was important for us, and you've done a great job for us with, you know, different offices in different cities, you know, because a lot of times people go and they go, okay, you know, Fleming Island homeowners insurance. Well, if our main website is Darr Shackout Insurance in Gainesville, it's not going to register. It's not going to pull up. We're not going to. We're going to get a zero SEO out of that kind of stuff.
And a lot of people just don't realize that Google, I mean, when anybody's searching for anything, what are they doing? They're going to their phone, they're typing in, you know, seafood restaurant or, you know, whatever it is they're looking for, plumber, insurance, and you go to Google and you're looking, you want to appear when someone's searching, because that's really Google's job. Their job is to provide you and I, the customers, with relevant search.
Sure.
So to do that, our job as business owners is to make sure that we can be found. We have to actually help Google have that happen, right? And so they're providing this service free for businesses, and a lot of small businesses that I work with don't have their listings claimed.
Not crazy.
So that means that if there is someone who has a listing claim, they're going to show up in the search engines before you will. And then you can have reviews. So this is something we do really well for DSI is, you know, we ask for the reviews. If you've worked with us, leave us a review. If you've had a good service, if you've had a good experience, leave a review. The more reviews you have and the more you reply to them, also the easier it is for people to find you, because those words in the reviews, so if someone mentions insurance in the review, that's going to help DSI Insurance appear in the search engines.
So as things evolve and technology changes all the time, how fast is technology changing when it comes to Google My Business? I know algorithms change. You know, you hear about, oh, the algorithm changed, and I'm going, look, man, I'm just an insurance agent. I don't know what the heck it is they're talking about. Somebody like you, they lean on and go, okay, sometimes I'm sure it drives you crazy with keeping up with those changes and trying to stay ahead of that.
Yeah, there are always new things that are being rolled out in every platform. Google has their specific algorithms for local SEO as well as search engine optimization for your website. I swear they're in a dungeon locked away. We'll never know what they are. Like, they're like algorithm people, and
and they're evil.
They're evil, and we don't know what they're going to roll out.
They're going to change it.
But there's some things that just don't change.
Yeah.
And that is people buy from people.
Yeah.
And they like doing business with people that they can trust, that they have good experience with, that have great reviews. And so it's word of mouth marketing, but it's online. It really is. That's not going to change no matter what platform you're on, how you play the algorithm game with Google. The more you're doing your business, working with people, and they're talking about it online and offline, the better you're going to do.
So I basically get out of that. Don't try to trick the system. Just create content.
Create great content.
Valuable personal content, not just generic stuff that you put out there.
And be real and ask for reviews. There's nothing wrong with saying, okay, we had a really, great experience.
Right.
I'd love for you to take some time to leave me a review. And that's how you're going to grow your business organically.
See, that's kind of what I'm hearing too, is that like it's really about trying to encourage that conversation to continue online, right? So you have a customer that has a good experience, having them tell that story online so that somebody else can hear that. It's sort of that word of mouth concept, but continuing to have that conversation with newer reviews. And that's like, if I'm buying something and I see a review from 5 years ago, I don't even look at it anymore.
Yeah, you have to constantly be
right. The conversation has to keep happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's I almost discredit it, which maybe makes no sense, but I almost discredit it if it is old, because I don't know. Things change so quickly now, especially since the pandemic, that you see all of these reviews and stuff from like pre-2020.
Yeah.
And I wonder, well, is this business even around? Is it not around?
Right.
Like what's going on? It's almost like an Amazon review, right?
Yeah.
Where you're buying a product and I'm like, oh, this hasn't been reviewed since like 2016. Like, what's going on?
And a lot of people freak out. Businesses will freak out and say, oh, I don't want any reviews. I don't want people to talk about us. What if they say something bad?
Right.
And
ooh, this is good.
Good
this
topic.
is going to happen, right? Somebody is going to say something about your business.
Yes.
And you're not going to like it. The best thing you can do is respond to that in a positive way to show other people, okay, they handled that. They addressed that situation. I got pineapple on my pizza and I don't like pineapple, but guess what? I got a free pizza out of it, or they talked to me. So not to just leave that negative review and ignore it, but to actually respond to it.
Yeah. Good. That's such great advice.
Because it's going to happen. And a lot of people
especially if you're in the service industry.
Yeah, if you're in the
kind.
service
You can't make everybody happy all the time, right? So
can't.
It's how you handle, I think, the bad news versus the bad news itself.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. And I've seen some businesses handle it really poorly, where they get in an argument with the customer online.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the family's involved, friends are involved. I think there's a couple years ago, there was a story about Applebee's. Their social media manager handled something really poorly.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is keep it really civil and then take it offline.
Yeah.
Say, can you come in?
Call me.
Have people feel very empowered behind a screen to say whatever that they want, type. And when you can suddenly be face to face or on the phone, their tone changes, their behavior changes, and suddenly they're not all that big and bad and mad at you.
Sure.
Also, I think we've all been in that situation where we've maybe made a mistake. You've apologized, and then the person keeps like piling on, and you're like, I don't know what else I can really do to make this right for you.
Right.
I'm trying to make it right. It's not going to work. And I think most of us understand all right, that's happened to me.
Yeah.
I get it. This business owner's at least trying and not ignoring that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So when I see that on a Google review and someone's left a 1 star and they've left a terrible comment, I look for that business to respond. And if they have responded well, I kind of almost ignore that negative comment.
Right. It's
That
almost
review,
more valuable.
It is to me
than
I'm
a 5-star.
Yeah, like wow,
How did they handle
it. Yep, they handled it well. That's somebody I'd want to work with.
Yeah.
If I had a complaint.
And proactively, I know that when you start working with, regardless of any business type that you work with, don't you proactively try to get higher reviews first?
Yes.
So that when that one bad one might come in, at least you go, okay, I've got 85 good ones and one bad one.
Totally. You're burying the bad reviews, basically, right? And you don't want 1 star, you want 4.5 and 5 stars, right? So you want as many stars as possible. So you don't want to be a 1-star company.
Cool. What type of businesses do you work with?
Oh gosh, we keep it real social. We work with every size company. We have people in the healthcare industry. We have restaurants. We have retail. We have insurance.
Here's what you know she has.
Everybody.
She knows she has a pizza place that she works with.
I
for
do.
Sure,
We
because
do.
she keeps using pizza and pineapple as an example.
Pizza and pineapple.
And she has a hairstylist that she works with.
I actually don't work with a hairstylist, but it's a really great example.
Because everybody gets their hair cut.
Everybody's always looking.
Yeah.
It's a common thing that you Google.
Got 1 out of 2.
We got 1 out of 2.
We need to give her a pizza place here that she needs to go visit.
Yeah.
So, Leonardo's is definitely.
Okay, so we were talking at lunch. We ate at, where did we eat, Madeline? BJ's. Where do we? Is that
BJ's.
Yeah.
BJ's. Okay. But we were talking about local restaurants. So, where do I go in Gainesville?
What do you want?
Love to eat?
What do you feel like?
What do you want to eat?
I don't know. I want to experience something local, not a chain.
So he's got a magazine where I'm sure there's
timing.
there's some.
the magazine.
Yes. So let's talk about the magazine.
And actually, I appreciate the opportunity to do that. What's
Always.
really cool is there's a restaurant guide in the book. There's one here, so I'll have to take a look at that.
Yes.
All right. But I do want to, and my chair keeps shrinking. Do you see this? It
well,
keeps falling.
You need a mix in a salad.
Keeps falling. I'm like falling.
Mix in a salad every once in a while.
You need to put down
Yeah, it's not the pizza, man.
Half the Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
Half the sandwich. What's interesting is that I think as a magazine publisher, and we've been publishing in town for 21 years now, is we recognize that there's all this content online, on social media. So one of the things that we can talk a little bit about is that section Share the Love that we have that runs twice a year. So Share the Love is a special section that appears in the magazine where we highlight businesses in town that have 4- and 5-star reviews.
There you go.
And what we do is we send a photographer out. We take pictures of their team, their business, what they do, the food, if they're a restaurant, whatever it might be, and combine that with some of the reviews we find online.
Nice.
So we share this. A lot of times, I think we're working with our small businesses and they get all these 5-star reviews and they don't know what to do with it because they're terrible at promoting themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Share the Love takes professional photography, which small businesses never have.
Exactly.
We give that back to them to use in their collateral material, whether it's on
nice.
Facebook, on their website, or their menu. And then we combine that with really the only thing that matters, and that's people who are talking about their business.
Yeah.
And put those two things together and try to drive business to them through that. So it's a way for Our Town as a magazine to remain in that conversation that's happening online. We're a printed product, but that conversation's happening on Facebook or Google
Digital,
or some kind of digital outlet.
Yeah.
So we work with the business owner to help promote those 4- and 5-star
So
reviews.
instead of feeling threatened by digital media, you're trying to embrace it as a
Absolutely.
printed product.
I think I'm a social media consumer, right? So I consume the content, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or whatever it might be. So I think it's silly to pretend like that's not a real and relevant marketing outlet for our small businesses.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an opportunity for small businesses to work online and through social media to promote their product and services. I also know that our product works for them.
Sure.
We believe in a direct mailed model, so we direct mail almost all of our magazines directly into homeowners.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for them to take advantage of the day-to-day conversation that's happening online, and then leverage the readership of our content through our distribution and through our magazines. So we've kind of married these things together in a couple of these sections, because I think it's just silly to bury your head in the sand and be like, no, nobody's on Facebook. Ah!
Yeah. So what do you do
as
do you utilize digital media yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So so this Share the Love section that we're talking about, for example, is a special section that appears we're bi-monthly, so every 6 times a year. So in our March, April, and our September, October editions, Share the Love runs, they also get sort of a special highlight on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Got it.
Where they are our sort of spotlight of the day.
Sure.
So we'll do a little bio about their business. We'll include all the
Nice.
gallery of the photographs that we took that day, a couple of the reviews, and we'll link back to their website, link back to their social media page, and that's part of the package that's
Yeah.
included in that
Yep.
sort of promotion. We do that with a lot of our special sections because it's value added for my
Yeah, it's a
business
great
owner.
cross-promotion,
It
too.
is, and so
Yeah.
it continues to allow us to use Facebook. It's Facebook and Instagram that we
Okay.
use because I
Yep.
feel like that's kind of fits our reader.
Yeah.
And so we use that to help drive response for them. I don't care how I deliver response for my advertisers, whether it's through a value-added product like online or whether it's through a printed product.
Yeah.
And so we work a lot with we're a very relationship-oriented business, and so we want them to run with us forever. And the only way that works is if we're their marketing partner.
Exactly.
So I don't really care if it's in
Partner.
print, online, however it works.
Yeah.
If we can help them do that, so be it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we were kind of talking a little bit about that before the show too. A difference between paid and organic.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people think social is, it is organic, but there are still pay to play models. And
For sure.
I'll work with a lot of businesses, and they're like, they want to move everything to digital, to social. And I really think that they work best when you do things in tandem with traditional media and you have that print. So if we are going to run an email marketing,
Can you kind of come with me on some of our sales calls? Can she come with us, please?
Okay, I'll come.
Please come. You're
but
so right, though.
seriously, they should work in tandem. So if you're going to do a paid campaign where you're running social media ads, you have an email marketing campaign, your billboard should match that.
Yes.
What you put in the magazine ad should match that. So people are having all those different touch points. It's like feeding a baby green beans. You might have to try 13 times. It's the same with marketing.
Sure.
You have multiple different touch points, so it's almost subliminal.
Before you see any traction, it's gonna
Exactly.
take a while,
And
yeah.
so you have to have both traditional and social. So I really don't advocate, even though we're a social media agency, we create billboards. We create print ads with magazines because
Absolutely.
they really need to work.
They should
together.
work in
They
conjunction.
should.
I think Elio hosts a marketing podcast that runs weekly, I think, and one of the things they asked me on that show when I was a guest on their show, which is kind of fun.
You're popular.
It was. Do you just call me Easy? I feel like you just.
No,
call
I
me-
said you're
Oh,
popular.
popular. My bad.
You talk a lot.
So it was if you can
Let's
give
get
a
a guy
business
on here
owner-
that talks a lot.
If you can get a business owner some advice about marketing, what would it be? And my response to them was, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I need to have a lawyer on my team to help me with legal
Yeah.
issues. I'm not an accountant, so I need an accountant on my team to help me with accounting
Exactly.
issues. As a business owner, we're not just naturally born marketers either.
No.
And oftentimes what we see is that restaurant or the hair salon who has a print ad, a website, and a Facebook page, and all three of them are completely different.
Completely different.
And the messaging is completely different.
Yes.
And
Swing and a miss.
and I think what happens is that's not their fault. They're serving pizza or they're cutting
Yeah.
hair.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's really-
So one of the things that I recommended to them was find someone that you trust to help you with those things.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be an expensive proposition.
Yeah.
But you're right; those things should work in tandem. And
Yeah.
and when they do,
and you're going
they-
to have a lot more success that
That's
way.
right.
You really
That's
are.
exactly
People are
right.
going to say, "Oh, I saw that on the, I heard that on the radio. I saw that on the billboard. I picked up the magazine. I saw
Yep.
that. I was scrolling through Facebook, and then they buy it.
And I
Or
think they hear
call
that
you.
and they go, "Oh, I don't have that kind of budget." And I'm like, that doesn't cost a lot of money.
No,
That's
it-
it's just a direction. That is, I'm gonna find some continuity in my messaging. I'm already having the
Exactly.
message. I'm just not putting all that together.
And
Yeah.
the topic that we were talking about on the show that day was a blended media campaign.
Yeah.
Well, blended. However you word it, it really is putting all of those pieces together
Yep.
so that the complete puzzle, the puzzle's put together. Otherwise, it's like a piece here and a piece there, and nothing matches up.
Yeah.
It's confusing for the consumer. And you see Target does it. All
Oh,
of the
of course.
big brands do it because they know that that's what's reaching the consumer.
Yep.
And that's getting the results and the responses. So,
Yeah. It's great.
yeah.
So they find you keepitrealsocial.com.
That's it. Keep it real social.
Keep it real social.
Keep it real social.
Yeah.
.com.
We're in
So-
northern Michigan. However, obviously we work.
She's dying to get more
Worldwide.
Florida clients, dude. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Those Michigan
well,
winters.
I left and it was 30 degrees.
Oh.
So I got down here and I'm like, oh my God, it's
So nice.
hot. No, it was so hot. I mean, we're just not used to that.
What?
This
Okay.
is nice.
All right,
you
dude.
should have been here a month ago.
Quick story.
2 weeks
okay?
ago.
I
3
used
weeks
to work at
ago.
the company that I used to own. The product that I worked with for a long time was based out of Wisconsin. Okay.
Okay.
And so I'm having dinner with the CEO and one night, and he tells me, he gets on the phone with his kid, and he's like, he's like all mad at his kid. I was like, why are you mad at him? He's like, well, I told him to clean off the porch and this and that, and now it snowed and we won't be able to fix it until like March or April. And I was like,
Yes.
why can't you just fix it this weekend? He goes,
Yeah.
he just shook his head. He goes, dude, that'll be frozen until like April. I
Yeah,
can't
we
get to
couldn't
the
use our
deck."
front door one winter. Everyone had to go around to the garage because we didn't shovel one snowstorm. And so it just was a pile.
Yeah, no.
So
John and I were born and raised right here in Gainesville, right?
Yeah.
And so that,
I can't even relate. Yeah.
I'm like, you realize you can move, right? And everybody's like, well, I've got family. I'm like, you don't even like your family that much.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
why
but-
are you living there?
It's so pretty.
What is?
Northern
Not
Michigan.
using your front door?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have, dude. here's
No,
another
then
thing.
we didn't have to have guests. Just come
Oh,
over.
it's just live like a hermit.
True story. Tell me if you have this in the UP, okay?
Okay.
I went to Wisconsin and the water fire hydrants,
Yeah.
okay, had a big flag on it. And
Because the snow.
because the
Because
snow
of
gets so
plowing.
high they don't know
They can't find
where
them.
the
Our
fire hydrants.
mailboxes do. Our driveways do.
What the hell? I'm sorry. What? What?
Well, otherwise, if you won't plow, you'll end up plowing the grass, and we lose a mailbox every year to the snow
Well,
plow.
sure. I mean,
Now
so
I
the
see why
snowplow.
some
so we had a
people are
hurricane.
moving
I
to
guess? I
Florida.
don't know. I have no idea.
Hey, talk about Woofstock
Cool. Okay, briefly, you want to pull that up for me real quick, Elio?
because the show's about
So
over.
yeah, I know. Sorry. I want to mention Wolfsock. We've played there with the band that John
Great
met.
event.
Ah,
We
the
were in a
band.
band together.
Yep.
John was in a band.
John is in a band.
Wait.
He is. We just don't play very
Rock,
often.
rock star.
We did.
Rockstar.
We did just have a little mini
Go to
reunion
Facebook. Go to
for
Good
a buddy's
Bottom.
birthday. Yeah.
Don't Google it.
Don't Google the name of the old
Good
band,
Bottom.
'cause you might get
You get a virus.
Yeah, you might get a virus. But Wolfstock is this fantastic charity event that the Humane Society of North Central Florida does every year. It is Thursday, November 4th from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Santa Fe River Ranch. Remember, we used to have it at Rembert's place, but now it's at Santa Fe River Ranch. It's it's an awesome fundraiser for this incredible charity that's near and dear to our heart. And yes, of course, our band is playing. Our band is called Whiskey Jones, and we'll be playing that night, maybe in costume, because it's kind of a hippie-themed event. It's a lot of fun, but you can get your tickets online if you check out Wolfstock or go to the Humane Society of North Central Florida. I wanted to mention it because it is just a couple of weeks away, and it is
November
so much fun. It's a lot of fun. So please join up and come out, and there's a phone number and stuff. You can find this in our town, or you can find it on their website. So thanks for that.
Cool.
Well, thanks
Good.
for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank
Summer.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks so much for watching Premium Time.
Look, I shrunk again.
We are out of here. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks for watching. Remember to like us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. No, I don't know.
No, you're not on Pinterest.
He's
We're
making
not
it
on
up now.
Pinterest, but see ya.